This is ATF. We are a specialized law enforcement agency, one that brings unique expertise to prevent terrorism and protect the public against violent crime and other threats to our nation and the communities where we live and work. We're the men and women of ATF, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. A major ATF responsibility is to battle firearm violence using a law enforcement strategy that focuses our efforts on armed offenders, career criminals, and violent gangs. ATF leads the Department of Justice's two main crime reduction initiatives, Project Safe Neighborhoods and the Violent Crime Impact Teams. These two programs are nationwide commitments to reducing gun violence. The men and women of ATF are at the forefront of this daily effort in partnership with other law enforcement agencies and prosecutors. Our ongoing collaborations keep firearms out of the hands of convicted felons and remove violent offenders from the streets. We target the worst of the worst to help make our communities safe. Examples of our successes include the infiltration of outlaw motorcycle gang and violent street gang. This involves long-term undercover investigations that lead to the successful prosecution and imprisonment of thousands of criminal gang members. Through ATF's National Tracing Center and Integrated Ballistic Information System, known as NIBIN, state and local law enforcement partners are connected with some of the most powerful tools in the field. ATF is the only agency with the ability to track and trace crime guns in the world. In concert with NIBIN and E-Trace, enforcement partners are connected to a secure database filled with information and images of spent shell casings and crime gun analysis data. These resources allow law enforcement to trace firearms and compare ballistic evidence found at one crime scene to other investigations around the country, all within an accelerated time frame. In addition, we ensure that those who are licensed to sell firearms comply with federal law. Our investigators conduct thousands of inspections each year, reviewing the business records of firearms dealers. This helps prevent firearms from falling into the hands of those prohibited by law from having them. Another ATF responsibility is to prevent and solve crimes involving arson and explosives. Throughout the years, our agency has been at the center of national criminal incidents. For instance, it was ATF working in partnership with the New York City Police Department that discovered the critical piece of evidence in the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. And we were instrumental in the investigation of the 1995 Oklahoma City bombing. Using constantly expanding capabilities, ATF launched the Bomb Arson Tracking System, or BATS. BATS is the first web-based system providing federal, state, and local law enforcement officials and bomb scene commanders the ability to securely share crucial information about arson and explosives incidents around the nation. When an explosion, suspected arson, or major fire occurs and ATF assistance is requested, we respond on the scene with a team of uniquely qualified experts. These experts put their investigative skills to work, analyzing debris to determine the cause and origin. Evidence and other material are gathered and sent to one of ATF's forensic laboratories for analysis by expert forensic scientists. ATF's Fire Research Laboratory is the world's only facility dedicated to fire scene investigation. Fire investigators from across the country work with ATF to reconstruct fire scenes, analyze evidence, and resolve fire-related crimes. At our National Center for Explosives Training and Research, we share our knowledge with local, state, military, other federal, and international agencies. We teach methods of piecing together evidence at bomb scenes and ways to dismantle explosive devices. Our agents, certified fire and explosives investigators, and other experts also serve on national and international response teams. They go anywhere requested by our law enforcement partners to investigate major fire incidents and criminal bombings. Our industry operations investigators are at the forefront of ensuring explosives are stored properly and all explosives are accounted for. At ATF, We also enforce the federal laws governing the illegal trafficking of alcohol and tobacco, both domestically and internationally. We do that by enforcing laws prohibiting the diversion of these products from legitimate commerce. Our efforts involve denying profits to traffickers through the seizure of their illegal assets. A major component of this activity involves partnering with other law enforcement agencies. Together, we collect, analyze, and disseminate intelligence about alcohol and tobacco trafficking schemes possibly having ties to organized criminal groups and terrorist organizations.
ATF is really a key law enforcement player here in Maryland. Everybody recognizes that throughout the state, from the violent crime impact teams to the work on Project Safe Neighborhoods in Maryland Exile, to the work that ATF has done in dealing with firebombing cases in Baltimore City and with arson cases throughout the state. ATF has been a major player in law enforcement here in Maryland.
We're the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, ATF. Investigating and reducing crimes that involve firearms, explosives, and arson. We are stopping alcohol and tobacco from being trafficked illegally. We're participating in deployments and partnerships throughout the world. We're ATF. Preventing terrorism, reducing violent crime, and protecting our nation.